Listen to me. I need you to understand something right now. Peace ain't just silence. Peace is power. Peace is that deep, unshakable strength inside you that tells you, I'm good, no matter what happens tomorrow. You see, everybody wants a powerful tomorrow, but they never slow down long enough to find peace today. You want success, you want greatness, but you're running in chaos. You can't build a skyscraper on a shaky foundation. The mind has to be still before it can be strong. When your mind is peaceful, your decisions are sharp. When your heart is calm, your spirit is unbreakable. That's when tomorrow bends in your favor. You don't get peace by avoiding the storm. You get peace by learning how to stand in the middle of it and say, I'm not moving. Because when your spirit is still, your future gets clearer. So tonight, I need you to breathe. I need you to slow down. I need you to stop reacting to every distraction, every opinion, every negative thought. You can't hear purpose if your mind is loud. You can't see your blessing if your heart is full of noise. A peaceful mind is not weakness. It's the foundation of power. It's the calm before the storm that changes your life. Peace is not something that happens when everything in your life is perfect. Peace is not waiting for the right situation, the right people, or the right amount of money to show up. Peace is a decision. It's a mindset. It's something you build, not something you build, not something you find. Most people spend their entire lives chasing peace, thinking it's somewhere out there in the world. But the truth is, peace starts right here, right now, in your heart. It's a choice you make every single day, even when everything around you feels like it's falling apart. You can't keep saying, I'll be at peace when things calm down. Because let me tell you something, life rarely calms down. Life doesn't stop throwing challenges at you. The world doesn't suddenly stop being noisy. There will always be problems, misunderstandings, heartbreaks, and obstacles. The people who live with peace in their hearts don't live easier lives. They just make a different choice. They choose to protect their mind instead of letting the world run it. See, most of us give our peace away too easily. We hand it to people who don't deserve it. Somebody talks bad about you and suddenly your whole day is ruined. You scroll on social media and see someone doing better than you and you lose focus. You let traffic, gossip, and negativity disturb what's inside you. That's not peace. That's permission. You're giving permission to the world to decide how you feel. When you choose peace, you take your power back. You tell the world, you can't have my emotions, you can't have my mind, you can't have my calm. That's when you stop reacting to everything and start responding with purpose. Choosing peace doesn't mean you're ignoring problems. It means you're not allowing problems to control you. You can acknowledge what's wrong without surrendering your joy. You can face chaos without becoming chaotic. You can walk through storms without losing your balance. That's power. That's what separates the ones who survive from the ones who succeed. Because success without peace is just noise. You can have money, fame, followers. But if you're not at peace, you're still poor inside. A lot of people think peace comes when everything's fixed, but peace is actually what allows you to fix things. When your mind is calm, you think clearer. When your spirit is settled, your decisions make sense. But when you're anxious, angry, or overwhelmed, everything gets harder. You can't build a dream with a shaky hand. You can't create a vision from a stormy mind. Peace is not about escaping the world. It's about mastering yourself. And that's the part most people don't understand. Peace takes discipline. It's not something that happens by accident. You have to train your mind to be still. You have to train your thoughts to stay positive. You have to train your emotions to stay balanced when life hits you hard. Every morning you wake up, you have to decide, today I choose peace. Not because the day is easy, but because your purpose demands clarity. When you choose peace, you also choose focus. You can't chase both stress and success at the same time. One of them has to go. You can't move forward if your mind is stuck on everything that went wrong. The peaceful person doesn't spend time arguing with everyone or proving their point. They're too busy moving with intention. They don't have time to fight battles that don't build them. You can't expect to grow if every little thing takes you off your path. Listen, peace doesn't mean you're weak. Some people think being peaceful is being soft. No, it's strength under control. It's fire with discipline. It's a calmness that comes from knowing who you are and where you're going. Anybody can get angry. Anybody can react. But it takes power to stay calm when you have every reason to explode. It takes wisdom to hold your peace when people try to steal it. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to respond to every insult. Sometimes silence is your greatest strength. There's a difference between peace and avoidance. Avoidance means you run away from your problems. Peace means you face them with clarity. You still handle your business. You still do the work. But you don't let negativity live rent-free in your head. You know what matters and what doesn't. You know what deserves your time and what doesn't. That's how you stay grounded in a world that's trying to shake you. When you understand peace, you start to live with intention. You start protecting your thoughts the same way you protect your goals. You stop letting toxic people drain you. You stop letting distractions delay you. You stop letting fear define you. Because now you understand that peace is part of your power. It's what gives you strength to keep going, even when life gets hard. Think about it. Every time you lose your peace, what happened? You lose focus. You lose motivation. You lose hours, sometimes days, just being upset over things you can't change. But when you choose peace, you move differently. You save your energy for what really matters. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop blaming and start building. That's when your tomorrow starts to change. A peaceful mind is a powerful weapon. It's what helps you see opportunity in adversity. It's what helps you keep faith when the world doubts you. It's what helps you move forward when everyone else freezes. Peace allows you to pause, to breathe, and to think before you act. And that pause, that moment of clarity, that's where transformation begins. The truth is, peace is not about what's happening around you. It's about what's happening inside you. The world will never be fully calm. People will always talk. Circumstances will always shift. But when you learn to keep peace in your heart, nothing outside of you can break you. You become unshakable. You become grounded. You become in control of yourself. And that's when you truly become powerful. Don't let other people dictate your emotion. Don't let their chaos become your story. When someone tries to pull you into drama, walk away with peace. When someone doubts you, stay focused with peace. When life throws obstacles, respond with peace, because your peace protects your progress. Your peace fuels your focus, and your focus determines your future. You have to make peace your daily practice. That means controlling your environment, your habits, your words, and your thoughts. Start your day in stillness. Pray, meditate, reflect, breathe. Don't let your first thought be stress. Set the tone before the world sets it for you. When your morning begins with peace, your day follows with power. It's also about forgiveness. You can't have peace if you're holding on to pain. Some of you are still fighting battles that ended years ago. In your mind, let it go. Forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. It's the key that unlocks your peace. When you forgive, you're not saying what they did was okay. You're saying, I refuse to carry that pain any longer. Peace and bitterness cannot live in the same heart. You also have to protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. Don't let everyone have access to your energy. You don't need to explain your peace to people who thrive on chaos. Some people will never understand your calm because they've never experienced their own. That's okay. Your peace is your boundary. It's what keeps your soul clean in a world full of noise. And remember this, peace is a process. It's not about being perfect. Some days you'll lose it. Some days your emotions will win. But every time you choose to return to peace, you get stronger. Every time you take a deep breath instead of reacting, you build emotional muscle. Peace grows through practice, not perfection. When you make peace your foundation, you build a stronger future. You start walking into rooms with calm confidence. You start handling challenges with grace. You start controlling your day instead of letting your day control you. And when you live that way consistently, your tomorrow becomes powerful, not because it's easy, but because you are ready. So stop waiting for peace to find you. Choose it, create it, build it inside of you. Even when things are tough, even when you're tired, even when the world is loud, say it to yourself, I choose peace. Because peace is power, and power is preparation. The more peace you carry today, the stronger your tomorrow becomes. Your peace is your secret weapon. It's your strength in silence. It's your power in patience. Don't let anyone take it from you. Because once you master your peace, nothing can shake your purpose. Peace is not the absence of problems. It's the presence of power. And when you live with that truth, Tomorrow doesn't just look brighter, it becomes unstoppable. Silence is not emptiness, it's energy in its purest form. Most people misunderstand silence. They think it means nothing is happening. But in truth, silence is where everything begins. It's the space where your thoughts gather, your focus sharpens, and your soul reconnects with purpose. The problem is, we live in a world that hates silence. Everywhere you go, there's noise. Social media, conversations, notifications, opinions. We've become addicted to sound, to movement, to distraction. We're afraid to sit alone with us because silence exposes truth. But if you want to grow, if you want to build something meaningful, you have to learn to be still. But when you step into silence, you start to hear that inner voice, the one that tells you what's right, what's real, what's next. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. That's alignment. You can't hear calling when you're drowning in noise. You can't follow your intuition if you're constantly surrounded by distraction. Silence is where clarity is born. Listen, every strong person you admire has mastered the art of silence. They don't waste time explaining their vision to people who can't see it. They don't react to every little thing that's said about them. They move quietly, but with precision. They let their results make the noise. Because strength isn't about how loud you are. It's about how grounded you are. You can't be powerful if you're always talking, always reacting, always trying to prove something. Power doesn't need to shout. It just is. Sometimes you have to pull away from the crowd to build your strength. You have to disappear for a while to reappear stronger. That's what silence gives you, the room to grow without interruption. You don't owe anyone constant access to your process. Let them wonder what you're doing. Let them guess where you're headed. Stay silent while you grind. Stay quiet while you heal. Because not everyone deserves front row seats to your transformation. In silence, you learn to see things differently. You notice what's draining your energy. You recognize which people bring peace and which ones bring chaos. You begin to understand what truly matters and what's just noise. That's how wisdom grows, not in constant motion, but in moments of reflection. You start realizing that silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. It's where your best ideas are born, where your greatest strength takes shape. But here's the truth. Silence takes courage. It's not easy to face yourself. It's not easy to sit in quiet and listen to your own doubts, your fears, your insecurities. That's why people avoid it. They fill their lives with distraction because silence forces them to deal with truth. But if you want to be great, you can't run from yourself. You have to face your reflection. You have to face your inner voice. Silence helps you hear that voice clearly so you can change, grow, and move with purpose. You see, silence is where discipline is built. In those quiet moments when nobody's watching, when nobody's cheering, when nobody's clapping, that's where real work happens. The athlete who trains in silence, the student who studies while everyone sleeps, the dreamer who plans when nobody believes. That's where champions are made. Strength is built in the unseen. It's forged in silence long before the spotlight ever shines. You can't demand results in public if you refuse to do the work in private. And let me tell you something, silence protects your peace. When you stop talking about everything, you stop inviting unnecessary opinions. Not everyone needs to know your next move. Not everyone deserves to understand your struggle. Sometimes the best thing you can say is nothing. Just move in silence. Let your progress speak. People can argue with your words, but they can't argue with your results. When you choose silence, you choose power over impulse. You stop reacting emotionally to everything. Not every comment needs a response. Not every situation needs your energy. When you stay quiet, you gain control over your emotions. You stop letting anger, jealousy, or pride speak for you. That's what maturity looks like. Responding with intention instead of reaction. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It means strength under control. It means you've learned to master yourself before trying to master the world. There's also a spiritual strength in silence. When you're quiet, you allow yourself to listen to something greater than you. Call it faith, call it intuition, call it God's voice. In that stillness, you begin to understand direction. You begin to trust timing. You stop chasing and start aligning. You start to feel peace even when things aren't perfect because you realize that sometimes the best action is patience. Silence teaches you to trust the process. People often confuse silence with loneliness, but they're not the same. Loneliness is emptiness. Silence is empowerment. When you're silent, you're not disconnected. You're recharging, you're refocusing your energy on what matters most. You're tuning out the world so you can tune into yourself. And that self-awareness, that's where real strength comes from. You can't pour into others if your own cup is empty. Silence fills that cup. It's also in silence where healing happens. You can't heal running from the pain. You can't grow if you keep avoiding reflection. Silence gives you space to grieve, to forgive, to release. You start hearing your own heart again. You realize that what hurt you didn't break you. It built you. You see that every challenge came to teach you something. That's the beauty of silence. It turns pain into perspective. Sometimes silence is the best answer you can give. You don't have to fight every battle. You don't have to defend yourself to people who are determined not to understand you. Your silence speaks louder than arguments. It says, I know my worth and I don't need to prove it. It says, my peace matters more than your opinion. That's power. Walking away with calmness while others crave chaos. Silence also strengthens your focus. When you remove distractions, your mind becomes sharp. You start to notice opportunity you used to overlook. You become more efficient, more intentional, more aware. That's why many successful people spend time alone. They understand that solitude is not isolation, it's creation. It's where vision becomes strategy, becomes action. But remember this, silence doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing the right things quietly. It means working on your goals without broadcasting them. It means preparing behind the scenes while the world sleeps. Your silence is your strategy. It's how you build momentum before anyone even knows what you're doing. And when the time comes to show up, you don't need to announce yourself. Your excellence does for you. You have to train yourself to be comfortable in silence. At first, it feels strange. You'll want to fill the quiet with sound, with noise, with distraction. But over time, you'll start craving it. You'll start realizing that silence gives you control. It gives you space to breathe, to think, to reset. You'll start understanding that peace doesn't come from what you add to your life, but from what you remove. Start practicing moments of silence in your day, early in the morning before the world wakes up, late at night when everything slows down. Sit with your thoughts, write them down, pray, meditate, or just breathe. Don't rush to fill the silence, let it speak to you. The answers you've been chasing are often waiting in the quiet. When you embrace silence, your energy changes. Stop being reactive and start being proactive. You stop chasing validation and start living with purpose. You begin to understand that strength isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about being the most grounded. You no longer need to prove your worth because you feel it within. That's when you become unshakable, unshakable. And here's the beautiful thing. When you start mastering silence, people start noticing your calmness. They start feeling your strength without you saying a word. Your presence becomes louder than your voice. Because true power doesn't need to announce itself. It's felt. It's in the way you move, the way you handle pressure, the way you stay focused when others panic. That's what silence does. It refines your strength until it becomes effortless. In a world full of noise, be the one who moves with quiet power. Let your silence be your statement. Let your discipline be your defense. Let your results be your response. Because when you can be still in chaos, you've already won. That's when silence stops being emptiness and becomes your greatest weapon. So learn to trust it and embrace the stillness. Protect your quiet moments like they're gold. Because they are. They're where your strength is built, where your dreams are shaped, where your soul finds peace. Silence is not weakness. Preparation, it's alignment, it's power. And when you master that power, your voice, your purpose, your future, all become unstoppable. How you start your day shapes everything that follows. The first few moments of your morning are like the foundation of a building. If it's weak, the whole structure collapses. But if it's strong, nothing can shake it. Most people wake up and immediately step into chaos. They grab their phones, scroll through notifications, read messages, check social media, and within minutes, they've already surrendered their peace. They've allowed the world to set their mood before they even take their first breath of purpose. You can't build a powerful life with a scattered mind. You can't expect focus, growth, and success. The first thing you do each morning is feed yourself distraction. Mastering your morning isn't about routines that look good on paper. It's about setting your mind, heart, and soul in alignment before the day begins to test you. It's about deciding before sunrise that you'll move with peace, focus, and gratitude, no matter what happens. Because once you let the world set your tone, you lose control of your energy. But when you master your morning, you master your day. The morning is sacred. It's the time when your mind is quiet, your energy is fresh, and your spirit is open. What you do in that space matters more than you realize. Every powerful person you admire, leaders, athletes, entrepreneurs, they all have one thing in common. They respect their morning. They know the world is full of distractions, so they take those early hours to prepare, to plan, to connect with purpose. You can't expect greatness if you start your day on autopilot. When you wake up, before the noise, before the rush, there's a moment, a quiet space between sleep and movement. That's where power lives. That's where you decide what kind of person you're going to be today. Will you be reactive or intentional? Will you be led by purpose or by pressure? Those few minutes can determine your entire direction. So instead of rushing through them, start using them. Start your mornings with stillness. Don't touch your phone. Don't dive into your to-do list. Just breathe. Be aware. Be present. Take a few deep breaths and thank God, the universe, or life itself for giving you another day. Gratitude is the fastest way to turn peace into power. When you wake up thankful, you shift your energy. You stop focusing on what's missing and start appreciating what's possible. That alone can transform your entire outlook. Next, feed your mind. What you listen to, read, or think about in the morning shapes your subconscious. If you wake up and immediately consume negativity, bad news, gossip, comparison, you poison your mindset before the day even starts. But if you wake up and pour inspiration, motivation, and purpose into your thoughts, you build armor for the day ahead. Listen to something uplifting. Read something meaningful. Speak affirmations that strengthen you. Say it out loud all the day. I am calm. Today I am focused. Today I am grateful. Today I will win. Those words create energy, and that energy carries you through challenges. Discipline your mornings. Success doesn't belong to the lucky. It belongs to the consistent. Create habits that center you. Maybe it's journaling, maybe it's prayer, maybe it's exercise. Whatever brings you peace, do it with intention. You don't need to follow someone else's perfect routine. You just need to create one that feeds your soul. The point isn't to do more. It's to do what matters. Every small act of discipline compounds. Every morning you choose structure over chaos. You strengthen your mind. The mind loves patterns. If your morning starts with distraction, your day will follow with disorder. But if your morning starts with focus, your day flows with clarity. You can't expect to be productive if you wake up scattered. The most successful people don't start their day reacting. They started preparing. They visualize their goals. They plan their moves. They speak success into existence before it even happens. That's the difference between people who live on purpose and those who live by accident. Your morning mindset should remind you of who you are. Every day you wake up, life will test you. It will throw stress, fear, doubt, and frustration in your path. If you haven't grounded yourself early, you'll fall into those traps easily. But when you've already filled your heart with peace and direction before the noise begins, nothing can shake you. It's like building mental armor. You walk into the day with confidence instead of confusion. You don't react to the world reacts to you. Sometimes mastering your morning means cutting out old habits. If you wake up rushing, snoozing, or complaining, you're feeding chaos. You can't expect to feel powerful when you start your day from a place of resistance. You don't have to go to work. You get to provide, learn, and grow. You don't have to face challenges. You get to become stronger. Here, this simple shift turns pressure into gratitude. Exercise your body in the morning, even if it's just stretching or a short walk. Movement wakes up not only your muscles, but your mind. It releases stress and creates energy. When your body feels alive, your thoughts follow. You start the day sharper, more focused, more ready. Physical movement is not just about fitness. It's about mental strength. It's your way of telling the day, I'm ready for whatever comes. And don't underestimate the power of silence in the morning. The world will demand your attention all day long. You have emails, messages, responsibilities, but those first moments of silence are yours. Use them to connect with yourself, your faith, and your purpose. Think about your goals. Visualize your dreams. Speak to yourself kindly. Because the way you speak to yourself in the morning sets the tone for how you handle everything else. Another key to mastering your morning is protecting your environment. If your space is chaotic, your mind will be too. Keep your surroundings clean, calm, and intentional. Wake up to order, not clutter. That's not just about aesthetics. It's about energy. When your environment supports peace, your thoughts follow the same rhythm. You don't rise from chaos. You rise from calm. Be intentional with time. Don't wake up late and rush through your morning. That panic you feel when you're late seeps into everything you do. You start making poor decisions, losing focus, snapping at people. But when you wake up early and move with patience, you command your day. You give yourself room to think, breathe, and act wisely. Time becomes your ally instead of your enemy. Remember, mastering your morning isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. You'll have days where you oversleep or feel off. That's okay. What matters is returning to discipline. What matters is reminding yourself that peace and success begin when you take control of your energy. Your morning should be a reflection of the person you're becoming. Calm, strong, and intentional. There's a power in creating small rituals that align your spirit. For some, it's writing down goals. For others, it's drinking water and sitting quietly. The habit doesn't matter as much as the mindset behind it. Every time you choose to start your day intentionally, you're sending a message to your future. I'm serious about my life. You're telling your goals that you're ready to meet them halfway. If you truly want a powerful tomorrow, it begins with a peaceful morning. You can't control every outcome, but you can control how you begin. That's where success lives, in those first quiet choices before the world wakes up. Those moments decide whether you'll drift through the day or dominate it. You either create your morning or your morning creates you. Think of your morning as a mirror. It reflects your priorities. If you fill it with noise, you'll carry that noise all day. If you fill it with peace, gratitude, and purpose, you'll walk with clarity no matter what happens. That's why you can't underestimate it. The people who win in life aren't just lucky. They're intentional about how they start each day. They understand that success isn't built in one big moment. It's built in the small daily choices that stack up over time. So tomorrow morning when you open your eye, don't rush. Don't rush, don't grab your phone. Don't scroll through chaos. Sit still for a few moments. Feel your heartbeat. Take a deep breath. Whisper gratitude. Remind yourself why you're here and what you're building. Because once you master your morning, the world can't shake you. You become the calm in a storm. You start leading your life instead of chasing it. The world moves fast, but your morning doesn't have to. It's the one part of your day that belongs entirely to you. Guard it, honor it, and use it. Because if you can win the first hour, you can win the day, and if you can win enough days, you'll win your future. That's how peace turns into power. That's how a peaceful morning builds a powerful tomorrow. When you learn to control your emotions, you gain control over your entire life. Most people lose their peace, not because life is too hard, but because they've given their emotions the power to run the show. When anger, fear, jealousy, or anxiety take over, they steer you away from your purpose. But when you take charge, when you decide that your emotions will serve you, not rule you, that's when you discover true peace. And with that peace comes power, focus, and clarity. You begin to move through life with confidence because your emotions no longer dictate your direction. You do. Think about how often emotions make people reactive. Someone cuts them off in traffic and their day is ruined. A coworker criticizes them and suddenly they doubt themselves. One argument with a loved one and they lose focus for hours or even days. That's what happens when emotions take control. They drain energy, destroy focus, and steal your peace. But those who master emotional control don't give their power away so easily. They pause, breathe, and respond with wisdom instead of reacting with chaos. They understand that calm is a weapon. Having emotional control doesn't mean you suppress what you feel. It means you understand what you feel. It means you recognize your emotions as signals, not shackles. When anger shows up, you ask, what's this trying to teach me? When fear arrives, you ask, what's the opportunity hidden behind this? When sadness visits, you ask, wait, he who has truth is calling. That's emotional intelligence. That's emotional intelligence. It's not about ignoring your emotions. It's about using them as tools for growth. A peaceful mind doesn't come from the absence of emotion. It comes from mastering them. People who live in chaos often believe that peace is a matter of changing circumstances. They say if I had a better job, I'd be happy, or if this person treated me better, I'd be calm. But peace doesn't depend on what's happening around you. It depends on what's happening within you. When you can stand in a storm and still maintain your composure, that's power. When you can face uncertainty and not lose your sense of direction, that's mastery. The greatest leaders, the most successful people, and the most peaceful souls all share this trait: emotional control. They feel everything, but they are not controlled by anything. They can walk through fire without being burned by it. When challenges come, they don't panic. They plan. When people attack, they don't retaliate. They reflect. They build inner strength so deep that external chaos cannot shake it. That's what makes their tomorrow powerful. They're not slaves to temporary emotions. Let's be real, life will always test you. People will misunderstand you, disappoint you, or even betray you. Situations won't always go your way. But emotional control gives you the ability to respond instead of react. A reaction is based on impulse. A response is based on intention. When you react, you give others power over your mood. When you respond, you take that power back. You decide how your day goes, how your energy flows, and how your peace grows. Controlling your emotions doesn't mean you won't feel pain. It means you won't let pain control your decisions. You might cry, but you won't quit. You might get angry, but you won't act out of rage. You might feel fear, but you won't freeze. You feel everything deeply, but still choose wisely. That's strength. That's growth. That's peace. Many people underestimate how much their emotions, their destiny. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you can't control your emotions, you'll sabotage your potential. You'll make rash choices, burn bridges, and lose focus on your goals. But if you can stay calm under pressure, focused under stress, and kind under criticism, you'll move further than anyone who lets emotions dictate their path. Peace is not weakness, it's wisdom in motion. Imagine walking into every situation calm and grounded, knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it. That's the kind of confidence emotional control builds. You stop being reactive and start being proactive. You stop chasing peace and start creating it. You understand that every emotion is temporary, but your purpose is permanent. So when fear whispers, you still move forward. When anger shouts, you still think clearly. When doubt knocks, you remind yourself who you are. That's emotional discipline. One of the hardest but most powerful habits you can build is learning to pause before you respond. That small moment between feeling and reacting is where peace lives. In that space, you have the power to choose your reaction, to turn anger into understanding, fear into courage, and sadness into healing. The people who master that space become unstoppable because nothing external can destroy their internal balance. Your emotions are like waves. They rise, they crash, they fall. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. When you understand it, you stop fighting your feelings and start flowing with them. You begin to see emotions not as enemies, but as energy that can be directed toward your growth. Anger can fuel your passion. Sadness can deepen your empathy. Fear can sharpen your focus. Every emotion has a purpose if you control how you use it. Peace of mind doesn't mean you feel good all the time. It means you remain grounded even when you don't. Life will throw unexpected situations at you, but your emotional balance determines. People who react emotionally often make short-term decisions that lead to long-term regret. But those who remain calm and centered make choices aligned with their goals, not their moods. That's the difference between temporary happiness and lasting peace. You also have to understand that emotional control comes from self-awareness. You can't manage what you don't recognize. So start observing yourself. Notice when your emotions shift, what triggers you, and how you respond. Awareness is the first step to mastery. When you know your emotional patterns, you can interrupt them before they control you. You stop living on autopilot and start living intentionally. The truth is, emotional control is not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about catching yourself before you spiral, breathing before you speak, and thinking before you act. It's about recognizing that peace is more valuable than proving a point. Every time you choose peace over reaction, you strengthen your emotional muscle. Over time, you'll notice that things that once triggered you no longer hold power over you. That's growth. And the beauty of mastering your emotions is that it changes how people perceive you. When you stay calm under pressure, people trust you. When you don't overreact, people respect you. When you lead with emotional intelligence, people follow you. You become a source of stability in a chaotic world. That's what makes your mind peaceful and your tomorrow powerful. You become the calm in the storm, not the storm itself. So the next time life tests your patience, remember, your peace is your power. Protect it fiercely. Don't let temporary emotions cause permanent damage. Don't let someone else's chaos disturb your calm. You are not obligated to attend every argument you're invited to. You are not required to lose your peace to prove your point. Sometimes walking away is the loudest response. Sometimes silence is the most powerful statement. When you master emotional control, you become unshakable. You stop living at the mercy of your moods and start living from a place of purpose. You realize that true strength isn't in fighting back. It's in staying centered. True confidence isn't loud. It's calm. True power isn't in control of others. It's in control of yourself. Remember this, storms will always come, but peace is the anchor that keeps steady. Emotions will rise, but discipline will keep you grounded. When you control your emotion, you shape your destiny. And that's when a peaceful mind truly builds a powerful tomorrow. Growth is not born in comfort, it's born in challenge. A peaceful mind isn't one that avoids hardship, but one that transforms hardship into strength. You can't build a powerful tomorrow if you crumble every time life tests you. The truth is, peace isn't found in avoiding the storm. It's found in learning how to stand in the rain and still smile. Every test, every pain, every disappointment is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Growth happens when your peace meets your perseverance, when you choose calm over chaos, and when you find purpose in your pain. When you understand this, life begins to shift. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You start asking, what is this teaching me? Has single change in perspective what separates people who grow from those who give up. Every challenge carries a lesson, and every setback hides a seed of strength. The mind that seeks peace in the middle of growth learns to stop fighting the process and start trusting it. Because growth and peace are not enemies. They are partners in transformation. So many people run from discomfort because it shakes their peace. They think peace means everything has to be easy, smooth, and predictable. But that's not peace. That's stagnation. True peace is when your mind stays calm, even when everything around you is shifting. True peace is knowing that the pain you feel today is producing the strength you'll need tomorrow. It's trusting that the season you're in, no matter how dark, is part of your development. You cannot have growth without friction. A seed cannot become a tree without breaking through the soil. A butterfly cannot fly without first fighting its way out of the cocoon. Growth requires struggle because struggle awakens potential. The problem is that most people want results without resistance. They want peace without pressure. But without resistance, there's no strength. Without pressure, there's no diamond. The peaceful mind understands this truth. It doesn't panic during the process because it knows the process has purpose. When you face challenges with a peaceful mind, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop seeing problems as punishments and start viewing them as preparation. Every closed door teaches you patience. Every failure builds your wisdom. Every betrayal shows you the value of self-respect. Peace is not pretending everything is fine. It's knowing that even when it's not, you are still growing, still learning, and still becoming who you're meant to be. Think about how many times you've gone through something you thought would break you, but it did. Instead, it built you. That's growth through peace. When you learn to stay calm in difficulty, you give yourself the clarity to find the lesson. And when you find the lesson, the pain no longer controls you, it empowers you. You start to see that your strength didn't come from easy days. It came from the days you didn't think you'd make it, but did. Peace doesn't mean you don't care about what's happening. It means you don't let what's happening control your spirit. There will be times when life feels unfair. Times when things fall apart. Times when nothing goes according to plan. But in those moments, you have two choices, panic or peace. If you choose panic, you drown in worry. If you choose peace, you rise in wisdom. Because peace allows you to think clearly, to act with purpose, and to endure with strength. Growth through peace also means learning to accept what you cannot control. So much mental suffering comes from trying to change things beyond our reach. People, outcomes, situations, timing. But peace is born when you release that control. You stop forcing and start flowing. You do your best and you let life handle the rest. That doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that everything unfolds as it should. When you find peace in uncertainty, you become unstoppable because nothing external can disturb your internal balance. Another truth about growth is that it's uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. Every time you level up, you have to leave something behind. Old habits, old fears, sometimes even old versions of yourself. And that can feel like loss. But a peaceful mind understands that letting go isn't losing. It's making space for something better. Peace is what allows you to release without resentment, to move forward without fear, and to grow without guilt. There's a powerful connection between patience and peace. Growth doesn't happen overnight, and neither does healing. A peaceful mind knows that rushing the process doesn't make it faster. It only makes it harder. When you're at peace with your pace, you can sustain your progress. You stop comparing your journey to others and start trusting your own timeline. Every flower blooms when it's ready, not when others say it should. Many people mistake peace for passivity, as if being calm means doing nothing. But peace is not inaction. It's intelligent action. When your mind is peaceful, your energy is focused. You make decisions with clarity instead of confusion. You move with purpose instead of panic. Growth born from peace is deliberate, steady, and strong. It's the kind of growth that lasts because it's built on stability, not stress. You can't build a powerful tomorrow on a chaotic mind. That's why peace during growth is so essential. A peaceful mind sees obstacles as opportunity, pain as progress, and failure as feedback. It doesn't get lost in frustration. It finds direction through reflection. Growth is not about doing more. It's about becoming more. And that becoming requires stillness, patience, and peace. Let's talk about how peace fuels creativity and resilience. When your mind is calm, ideas flow. You see possibilities where others see problems. You make connections that others miss. Peace opens the door to innovation because it removes the noise of worry. Likewise, peace gives you resilience because when you're not drained by stress, you have the energy to keep going. You bounce back faster, think clearer, and move smarter. Growth through peace also means accepting that setbacks are part of success. Every time you fall, you learn how to rise. Every time something ends, something new begins. A peaceful mind doesn't dwell on what's lost, it focuses on what's learned. You understand that every ending is a doorway disguised as difficulty. Peace teaches you to wait, to trust, and to believe that even when you can't see progress, growth is still happening beneath the surface. The truth is, a peaceful mind creates a powerful presence. When people see you calm under pressure, it inspires them. Your peace becomes contagious. It reminds others that they too can handle their struggles without losing themselves. That's how peace multiplies. It spreads through example. And as you grow in peace, you not only build a powerful tomorrow for yourself, but also influence others to find their own inner calm. Let's be honest. Peaceful growth is not easy. It requires discipline. It requires self-awareness. It requires you to keep showing up even when you're tired, to keep believing even when results aren't visible. But every time you choose peace over panic, patience over frustration, and gratitude over complaint, you take another step toward your powerful tomorrow. You become stronger, not because life got easier, but because you learned to stay peaceful while it was still hard. And here's the beauty of it all. Once you start growing through peace, you stop fearing challenges. You welcome them because you know they're building you. You no longer see pain as punishment. You see it as preparation. You understand that peace isn't the absence of problems, but the ability to stay centered in their presence. That's what makes you unshakable. That's what makes your tomorrow powerful. So when life tests you, and it will, breathe. Remind yourself that you are growing. Remind yourself that peace doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you trust the process even when it isn't. You're not just surviving, you're evolving. The storms you face today are watering the seeds of your future. The challenges you endure are carving out the character you'll need for what's coming next. Never forget this. Peace and growth walk hand in hand. When your mind is at peace, your spirit has room to grow. When your spirit grows, your tomorrow becomes unstoppable. Keep your heart calm, your faith strong, and your focus steady. Because a peaceful mind today will always create a powerful tomorrow. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools for creating a peaceful mind and a powerful tomorrow. It's something we often talk about, but few truly understand or practice deeply. Forgiveness is not about weakness. It's not about letting people get away with what they've done. It's about freeing yourself. It's about choosing peace over pain, growth over grudges, and purpose over the past. When you hold on to anger, resentment, or bitterness, you don't harm the other person. You harm yourself. You carry the weight of what they did every day, and that burden blocks your blessings, your peace, and your progress. But when you forgive, you release that weight. You open space in your mind and heart for peace, clarity, and growth. Think about it. How many people spend their days reliving old wounds? They wake up angry about something that happened years ago. They replay conversations, imagine comebacks, and hold on to pain that doesn't serve them. That pain becomes poison. It seeps into everything. Relationships, work, health, even self-worth. Forgiveness is the antidote. It's how you detox your soul from the bitterness of yesterday so you can live freely today. A peaceful mind cannot grow in a heart filled with resentment. Forgiveness is the act of cleaning your inner space so that peace has room to live. Forgiving others doesn't mean what they did was okay. It means you're done letting it control you. It's acknowledging that what happened hurt, but you refuse to let that pain define your future. It's about reclaiming your power. Because as long as you hold on to resentment, you're still chained to that moment, to that person, to that pain. Forgiveness cuts the chain. It doesn't change the past, but it changes your relationship with it. It transforms it from a prison into a lesson. When you forgive, you're not saying I'm weak. You're saying I'm strong enough to move forward. Forgiveness takes courage because it forces you to confront your emotions instead of avoiding them. It requires you to face the pain, process it, and then release it. That's hard work, but it's holy work. It's the kind of work that builds inner peace and emotional maturity. You learn to stop seeking revenge and start seeking understanding. You begin to see that everyone, including those who hurt you, is fighting battles you may not understand. That perspective brings empathy, and empathy brings peace. Forgiveness also means forgiving yourself. This is often the hardest part. People carry guilt and shame for years over mistakes, choices, or things they wish they'd done differently. They replay their failures and punish themselves over and over. But self-forgiveness is essential for a peaceful mind. You cannot move toward a powerful tomorrow while being anchored to self-blame. You have to accept that you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. You have to learn the lesson, make peace with your past, and release it. Growth can happen when guilt weighs you down. When you forgive yourself, you create space for confidence, healing, and self-compassion. You begin to see that mistakes don't define you, they refine you. You realize that pain was part of your preparation, that failure was part of your foundation. Forgiving yourself allows you to stop hiding from your own story. You can finally look at your past not with regret, but with gratitude for how far you've come. That shift in mindset is what turns emotional scars into spiritual strength. Forgiveness doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a journey, not an event. Some wounds run deep. Some betrayals cut so sharply that it feels impossible to let go. But forgiveness is not a feeling. It's a decision. It's something you choose daily, even when it's hard. Every time that old pain tries to resurface, you remind yourself, I choose peace over poison. It's repetition that makes forgiveness real. Over time, the pain loses power and peace takes its place. Many people fear forgiveness because they think it means reconciliation. But forgiveness and reconciliation are not the same. You can forgive someone and still set boundaries. You can release the anger without re-entering a situation that hurt you. Forgiveness is for you. It's about your mental and emotional freedom. It's not about restoring trust where it's not safe to do so. It's about choosing not to carry that pain anymore. You can close a chapter without reopening the book. A peaceful mind understands that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering without resentment. You'll still recall what happened, but it won't control how you feel. Won't steal your joy or your focus anymore. Forgiveness transforms memories from source of pain into source of wisdom. It allows you to say, I went through that, but I grew from it. I was hurt, but I healed. I was broken, but I built myself again. That's power. There's also a deeper truth about forgiveness. It's one of the most self-loving things you can do. When you forgive, you stop wasting energy on negativity. You reclaim that energy for your dreams, your goals, and your growth. Anger consumes energy, but peace restores it. Every ounce of energy you waste hating someone could be spent building something for yourself. Every moment you spend reliving the past is a moment you lose creating your future. Forgiveness gives you your time, focus, and freedom back. Forgiveness also opens you up to love again. When your heart is burdened by resentment, there's no space for new connection, new experiences, or new joy. But when you let go, you make space for something better. You start attracting peace because you become peaceful inside. You attract love because you stop living in bitterness. You attract blessings because you cleared the space where negativity once lived. There's something deeply spiritual about forgiveness. It's a form of surrender. It's saying, I trust that justice, healing, and balance are in greater hands than mine. You stop trying to fix what's broken by force and start trusting that life, time, and truth will take care of it. When you surrender your need to control the outcome, you gain serenity. You no longer feel the need to prove or punish. You simply rise above it. That's when your spirit becomes light and your mind becomes free. Forgiveness builds resilience. Every time you forgive, you strengthen your emotional muscles. You learn that no one has the power to steal your peace unless you hand it to them. You develop a kind of quiet strength that says, you can hurt me, but you can't destroy me. And that strength is what creates a powerful tomorrow. Because when you live in peace, you make decisions with clarity, not anger. You take action from love, not bitterness. You lead with calm, not chaos. It's also important to recognize that forgiveness doesn't mean you don't remember your word. You can forgive someone and still decide they no longer deserve a place in your life. Forgiveness is about healing your heart, not excusing their behavior. It's saying, I release you from my pain, but I reclaim my boundaries. That's the balance between peace and power. You stay gentle in spirit, but firm in self-respect. When you practice forgiveness consistently, you start to notice something remarkable. You feel lighter. The anxiety fades. The anger no longer consumes you. You sleep better. You smile easier. Your thoughts become clearer. Peace begins to flow naturally because you've removed the barriers that blocked it. And once peace fills your mind, you begin to live differently, you speak differently, think differently, and walk with confidence and calmness. Forgiveness also teaches humility. It reminds you that you too have hurt others, sometimes unintentionally, sometimes through ignorance or pain. When you remember your own imperfections, it becomes easier to extend grace. And grace doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. It allows you to live in alignment with compassion instead of resentment. And when you learn to forgive, you become a source of healing for others. Your peace becomes a testimony. People see that you've been hurt, but you're still loving. You've been broken, but you're still kind. You've been betrayed, but you're still hopeful. That kind of light draws others in. It inspires them to forgive too. And that's how forgiveness not only changes one person's tomorrow, but transforms the world around them. So understand this. Holding on to anger doesn't punish the person who hurt you. It punishes you. It keeps your heart in yesterday while your purpose is waiting in tomorrow. Forgiveness is the bridge between the pain of your past and the peace of your future. When you choose to forgive, you choose freedom. When you choose peace over pain, you choose power. Let go of what you can't change. Release who you no longer need. Forgive what you don't understand. Not because they deserve peace, not because you do. You've carried that burden long enough. You cried long enough. You've replayed it long enough. It's time to let it go because your peaceful mind deserves a chance to breathe. And your powerful tomorrow is waiting on the other side of forgiveness. Gratitude is the gateway to a peaceful mind and a powerful tomorrow. It's one of the simplest yet most transformative mindsets you can adopt. The moment you start to focus on what you have instead of what you lack, your entire world begins to change. Gratitude shifts your attention from scarcity to abundance, from frustration to fulfillment, and from chaos to calm. When you wake up each day with a heart full of thanks, you're training your mind to see possibilities instead of problems. Peace doesn't come from having everything. It comes from appreciating everything you already had. Many people spend their life chasing more money, more recognition, more possessions, thinking those things will bring peace. But peace doesn't come from accumulation. It comes from appreciation. You can have everything the world offers and still feel empty inside if you don't have gratitude. On the other hand, you can have very little and still live with deep joy if you appreciate the blessings that surround you. Gratitude is not about ignoring challenges. It's about recognizing that even in challenges, there is something to be thankful for. A grateful mind is a peaceful mind because it focuses on the positive, not the negative. It's easy to see what's missing. It takes strength to see what's present. Gratitude rewires your perspective. It teaches you to stop saying, I have to, and start saying, I get what, start saying, I get to. You stop saying, I have to go to work, and you start saying, I get to have a job. You stop saying, I have to take care of my family, and you start saying, I get to love and support the people who matter most. That simple shift in language changes the vibration of your thoughts, and that vibration creates peace. When you practice gratitude, you also cultivate patience. You stop rushing through life, constantly searching for the next big thing, and start enjoying the moment you're in. Gratitude grounds you in the present. It teaches you that this moment right here is enough. And when you find peace in the now, you stop worrying about tomorrow because you trust that if today holds blessings, tomorrow will too. Gratitude and faith walk hand in hand. Gratitude also builds resilience. When life gets hard, and it will, gratitude reminds you that you've been through storms before and survived. It reminds you that even in your darkest moments, there were still reasons to keep going. Maybe it was a small act of kindness from a stranger, a lesson learned from pain, or the strength you found when you thought you had none left. Gratitude turns every scar into a story of strength. It shifts your focus from what broke you to what built you. That shift creates peace because you begin to see that everything, even the struggle, served a purpose. When you're grateful, you attract more reasons to be grateful. That's the power of energy. What you focus on expands. When you focus on lack, you live in anxiety. When you focus on gratitude, you live in abundance. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a frequency. It raises your vibration and aligns you with positive energy. You start to notice beauty in the small things. The warmth of the sun, the laughter of a loved one, the chance to start over. Those moments may seem simple, but they are the foundation of a peaceful life. Gratitude is also the cure for comparison. In the world we live in, it's easy to get lost in what others have. Social media, society, and culture constantly tell us we're not enough. Gratitude silences that noise. It reminds you that your journey is unique, your blessings are yours, and your timing is divine. You stop measuring your worth by someone else's success and start celebrating your own progress. You realize that peace doesn't come from being better than others. It comes from being grateful for who you are becoming. One of the most powerful aspects of gratitude is how it changes relationships. When you appreciate people instead of taking them for granted, love grows stronger. When you thank those who help you, connections deepen. Gratitude makes you more patient, more empathetic, and more understanding. It helps you see people not for their flaws, but for their intention. In a world filled with criticism, gratitude becomes your superpower. It turns conflict into compassion and distance into connection. Gratitude also affects your health. Science has shown that thankful people sleep better, stress less, and live longer. But beyond science, gratitude nurtures your soul. It lightens emotional burdens. It fills empty spaces inside you that negativity can't touch. When you focus on what's good, your body relaxes, your breathing slows, and your heart opens. Gratitude is the language of peace, and your mind understands it deeply. Living with gratitude doesn't mean ignoring pain. It means refusing to let pain define your outlook. You can be grateful even when life hurts. You can say, oh, this is hard, but I'm thankful for the lesson. You can say, I lost something, but I'm grateful for what it taught me. Gratitude doesn't erase challenge, it elevates your perspective above. It helps you see that even in loss, there is learning. Even in struggle, there is shaping. To live with gratitude, you must make it a daily habit. Gratitude is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start your mornings by naming 3 things you're thankful for. End your nights by reflecting on one good thing that happened that day, no matter how small. Over time, your brain will rewire itself to notice blessings automatically. You'll start finding joy in ordinary moments. The taste of your favorite meal, the comfort of your bed, the sound of rain, the smile of a friend. These small acknowledgments build a foundation of lasting peace. Gratitude also teaches humility. It reminds you that you are not self-made. You are supported, guided, and blessed by forces greater than yourself. Every opportunity, every person, every breath is a gift. When you recognize that, arrogance fades and appreciation grows. Humility and gratitude are to form the deepest peace because they keep your heart open and your ego quiet. When you live in gratitude, you begin to understand every season of life has purpose. The good seasons teach you joy. The hard seasons teach you strength. You start to see that nothing is wasted. Everything is working for your growth. Gratitude allows you to trust the process because you know that even when things don't go your way, they're still going the right way for your development. That faith gives your mind peace and your future power. Gratitude also opens the door to abundance. The universe or God, whatever you believe in, responds to a thankful heart. When you show appreciation for what you already have, you signal that you're ready for more. But when you live in complaint, you block your blessings. Complaining is like putting walls around your potential. Gratitude is like opening the windows and letting light in. Every thank you say, out loud or silently, is an invitation for more goodness to flow into your life. Peace and gratitude are inseparable. A grateful heart can't hold bitterness. A grateful mind can't dwell on lack. Gratitude teaches you to replace a why me with a thank you. Softens pain, transforms stress, and builds strength. Even in silence, gratitude speaks loudly. It tells the universe, I see the good even in the hard. That awareness is what keeps your spirit light and your path bright. When you carry gratitude into tomorrow, you carry power. Because no matter what challenges come, you'll still see the light. Gratitude gives you endurance. It fuels you when things don't go as planned. It reminds you that peace isn't found in perfection, but in perspective. It keeps you steady when life feels uncertain. Gratitude doesn't just change how you see your world. It changes how you move through it. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. You stop surviving and start thriving. So take a moment and reflect. What are you grateful for right now? Not tomorrow, not next week, not when things get better. Right now. Because right now you have something someone else is praying for. Right now you have breath in your lungs, potential in your hands, and purpose in your heart. That's enough to be thankful for. Gratitude transforms ordinary days into blessings, routine jobs into joy, and simple moments into miracles. It teaches you that peace is not about getting more, but appreciating more. And when you live with gratitude, you're not just building a peaceful mind. You're building a powerful tomorrow, one thankful moment at a time. Peace is not weakness. It's not sitting still and doing nothing. It's not being stalled, passive, or silent when life gets loud. Peace is power. It's that deep, steady calm that tells you, no matter what happens, I'm built for this. When you find peace, you stop fighting the wrong battles and start winning the right ones. You stop reacting to the world and start directing it. You stop being a victim of chaos and start being the author of your own calm. That's where real power lies, in the person who doesn't need the world to change to feel in control. Peace doesn't mean the absence of problems. It means you're not allowing problems to control your presence. You're still, you're focused, you're grounded. You've made a decision that no matter what noise comes your way, it won't take your peace away. When you understand that, you realize peace is not the reward, it's the requirement. It's not something you get after success. It's what gives you the strength to reach success in the first place. Think about it. The most powerful people you know aren't the ones yelling, bragging, or forcing their will. They're calm. They walk into a room and instantly shift the energy, not because they're the loudest, but because they're centered. Their peace is magnetic. When you have peace, you have presence. When you have presence, you have influence. And when you have influence, you can move the world without saying much. But you can't get there if you're constantly fighting everything outside of you. You can't be powerful if every opinion, every setback, every inconvenience takes your energy. Power is focus, and peace is what gives you that focus. When you find peace, you begin to move differently. You stop rushing. You stop comparing. You stop needing validation. You stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding. You stop wasting time proving your worth because you already know it. That's peace. And that's when your energy becomes sacred. So you start to understand that not everything deserves your reaction. Some things just deserve your silence. And silence, when used with wisdom, speaks louder than words ever could. You've got to understand, peace doesn't come by accident. It's not something that happens because your circumstances are perfect. It's a decision you make every single day to not let the outside world dictate your inside world. It's a discipline, self-mastery, choosing to stay calm in the storm because you know panic doesn't fix anything. You want power? Then master your emotions. You can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. You can't conquer your dreams if you're constantly conquered by anxiety, anger, and frustration. Power doesn't belong to the loud or the reckless. Power belongs to the one who can keep their peace when everything around them falls apart. When you're peaceful, you think clearly. You make better choices. You don't let your emotions run your life. You see things for what they are, not for what your fear paints them to be. You move with purpose, not pressure. The calm mind is a creative mind. The calm mind is a strategic mind. That's why peace and power go hand in hand, because peace sharpens your vision, and vision is where power begins. People lose their direction because they lose their peace. They start making choices out of desperation instead of inspiration. But when your spirit is peaceful, you can wait. You can discern. You can build without rushing. You can lose without giving up. Every day you're going to have opportunities to lose your peace. People will test you. Situations will frustrate you. Plans will fall apart. But in those moments, that's where your real strength shows. Anybody can stay calm when everything's going right. But when everything goes wrong and you can still smile, still focus, still keep faith, that's strength, that's maturity, that's power. Peace makes you unstoppable because it gives you endurance. You can't burn out when your spirit is calm. You can't be defeated when your mind is steady. You've got to protect your peace like your life depends on it. Because it does. You can't grow in chaos. You can't think in noise. You can't heal in distraction. You have to be intentional about what you allow in your mind. That means sometimes you got to walk away from arguments that don't matter. You've got to stay off your phone when negativity fills your feed. You've got to let go of people who drain you instead of build you. Protect your peace from gossip, from drama, from unnecessary competition. You don't owe anyone your peace. You owe it to yourself to guard it. The moment you protect your peace, you protect your power. See, people think peace makes you slow. But peace doesn't slow you down. It keeps you moving in the right direction. Chaos makes you run in circles. Peace helps you walk in purpose. When you're peaceful, you stop confusing movement with progress. You stop doing 10 things that don't matter just to feel productive. You start doing the one thing that truly aligns with your calling. That's what power looks like. Precision, not panic. You're no longer reacting to everything. You're responding with wisdom. Let me tell you this. Peace is a mindset, but it's also a muscle. You build it through practice. You build it by not letting every little thing throw you off. You build it by pausing before you react. You build it by choosing gratitude over complaint, presence over distraction, and faith over fear. Every time you choose calm instead of chaos, you're building that muscle. Every time you breathe instead of breaking down, you're strengthening your peace. It's not easy, but it's necessary. And let me be real with you. Peace doesn't mean you'll never feel anger, fear, or frustration. It means you'll feel it, but you won't be led by it. You'll let the emotion pass without letting it poison your purpose. You'll still have fire in your heart, but now that fire is focused. It's no longer wild. It's controlled. That's real power, the kind that lasts. When you reach that level, people will look at you and wonder how you stay so calm while everything around you shakes. But they don't know that peace isn't what you found. It's what you built. The world needs peaceful warriors. People who don't fight with their fists, but with their focus. With their focus. People who don't shout to prove they're strong, but show it through consistency, discipline, and purpose. The peaceful mind is a powerful force because it sees opportunity where others see obstacles. It sees growth where others see chaos. It finds strength and stillness in direction in the dark. You become a light for others just by being calm in the storm. That's leadership. That's impact. Your peace is your superpower. It's what separates you from the crowd. It's what allows you to think when others panic. It's what helps you keep faith when others quit. Peace gives you clarity, and clarity gives you control. You can't control everything that happens, but you can always control how you respond. And that's where your true power lies. Don't let people or circumstances pull you out of your peace, because the moment they do, they control your power. Stay grounded, stay patient, stay faithful. In the end, peace isn't a destination you reach when life finally gets easy. It's a decision you make while life is still hard. It's choosing calm in chaos, love and hate, and faith and fear. It's knowing that storms don't last forever, and that the same God who brought you through before will bring you through again. Peace doesn't make you passive. It makes you powerful enough to handle whatever tomorrow brings. When you live in peace, you don't just survive, you thrive. You build your dreams with a clear mind and a confident heart. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop fearing and start leading. You stop waiting for peace to find you and start realizing it's been within you all along. So from this moment forward, decide that your peace is non-negotiable. No matter the pressure, no matter the people, no matter the pain, protect your peace, because a peaceful mind creates a powerful tomorrow. And when your peace is unshakable, your future is unstoppable. At the end of the day, everything you're chasing, success, freedom, happiness, recognition, it all comes down to one thing: peace. You can have the car, the money, the fame, the followers, but if you don't have peace, you'll never truly rest. You'll always be fighting, always searching, always running from something. But when you have peace, you can sit in silence and smile because you know who you are, where you're going, and what matters most. Peace doesn't mean your life is perfect. It means you've made peace with the fact that it doesn't have to be. You've accepted the process. You've embraced the journey, and you've stopped letting every storm shake your spirit. That's when real power begins to show. When you can stay grounded even when the ground moves beneath you. You see, the world is loud. Every day it's throwing distractions at you. Opinions, pressure, fear, noise. People telling you what you should have, how you should live. Though what you live. But peace teaches you to listen to something deeper than all that noise. Peace teaches you to listen to yourself, because when your mind is still, you can finally hear your purpose. You can finally recognize what's meant for you and what's just there to test you. And once you start walking in that clarity, your whole world begins to change. The people who used to stress you out don't matter as much. The problems that used to break you don't have the same power. Because your foundation isn't built on noise anymore. It's built on peace, faith, and focus. You start to realize that your peace isn't just about you. It's about the energy you bring into every room you enter. When you're peaceful, you bring balance. You bring healing. You bring calm into chaos. You become an anchor for others who are still lost in the storm. That's real leadership. Not controlling people, not being louder than everyone else, but guiding through peace. The strongest leaders don't force peace on others. They live it so boldly that others feel it just by being around them. That's the level you need to reach, where your presence alone brings calm, not confusion, where your silence speaks louder than arguments, where your faith speaks louder than fear. Peace doesn't make you untouchable, but it makes you unshakable. It doesn't stop the waves, but it teaches you how to surf. It doesn't remove the struggle, but it gives you strength to endure it with grace. Every challenge you face isn't sent to destroy your peace. It's sent to test it, to refine it, to prove that your calm isn't conditional. When you learn to hold your peace in the middle of pressure, you're showing the world that your power doesn't come from circumstances. It comes from within. You're teaching your spirit that you control the atmosphere around you. That's how you take back your power. You can't let everything that happens outside of you control what's going on inside of you. If you're always reacting, always emotional, always losing yourself in the chaos, you'll never have the energy to move forward. But when you keep your peace, you keep your focus. When you keep your focus, you keep your direction. And when you keep your direction, you keep your destiny. Every time you choose peace over panic, you're aligning with your purpose. You're telling life, I'm not here to be moved by the storm. I'm here to master. And listen, peace is not something that just shows up one day when life gets easier. You have to fight for it every single day. You have to choose it even when your emotions tell you not to. You have to protect it even when people try to steal it. That means learning to say no without guilt. That means walking away from negativity without explanation. That means setting boundaries that honor your growth, not your past. You got to stop letting people and problems live rent-free in your mind. You got to evict anything that disturbs your peace because your mind is sacred ground. Only let in what feeds your faith, your growth, and your purpose. And here's the truth. Peace will change how you live. It will slow you down, but not because you're lazy. It will slow you down because you finally stop running from yourself. You'll move with intention instead of impulse. You'll stop chasing everything that shines and start choosing what truly matters. Peace brings clarity, and clarity brings confidence. You'll stop overthinking and start trusting. You'll stop forcing and start flowing. Because when you're peaceful, you trust the timing of your life. You stop trying to rush destiny and start enjoying the process. You realize that what's meant for you will find you, not because you're anxious, but because you're aligned. That's the beauty of peace. It puts you in alignment with your purpose. When your mind is still, your path becomes visible. You stop getting lost in doubt and start walking with faith. You begin to understand that every delay has a reason. Every setback has a lesson. Every storm has a purpose. Peace doesn't remove the pain, but it helps you understand it. It teaches you that every season, even the hard ones, are building something greater within you. When you live in that truth, tomorrow stops being something you fear. It becomes something you're excited to face. Because you know your peace has already prepared the way. The peaceful mind creates the powerful tomorrow. When you wake up grounded, when you start your day with gratitude instead of panic, when you approach challenges with calm instead of chaos, everything changes. You stop being reactive and start being proactive. You stop letting the world dictate your mood and start creating your own rhythm. You become unstoppable because you're no longer wasting energy on things that don't matter. You're conserving your strength for the things that do. And that's what power really is. Focus, control, awareness. Power isn't about domination. It's about direction. Peace gives you that direction. So tonight, before you close your eyes, breathe. Let go of everything that didn't go your way. Forgive yourself for every mistake you made. Forgive others for every hurt they caused. You don't have to carry that weight into tomorrow. Let peace fill the space where pain used to live. Because when you go to bed peaceful, you wake up powerful. You wake up ready to take on life with strength, patience, and focus. The world can throw anything your way, but you'll move through it with grace. Don't let people who didn't build your peace come in and break it. Guard it. Nurture it. Feed it with gratitude, prayers, stillness, and focus. Because your peace is your most valuable possession. It's not the car. It's not the money. It's not the title. It's that quiet confidence in your soul that says, I'm good no matter what. That's what gives you longevity. That's what gives you balance. That's what keeps you grounded when the world shakes. So as you move forward from this moment, carry your peace like armor. Let it protect your spirit from the noise, the pressure, and the fear. Walk into every situation knowing that peace is not a weakness. It's your weapon. When you move in peace, you move in power. When you live in peace, you lead in purpose. And when you protect your peace, you create a light that can't be shaken by storms or broken by opinions. That's when you truly start living. Tomorrow will always come with challenges. But if your mind is peaceful, you'll face them with strength. You'll wake up knowing that you don't need control over everything. You just need control over yourself. That's the mindset that builds empire, heals hearts, and changes lives. Because a peaceful mind is the birthplace of every powerful tomorrow. So keep your peace. Stay centered, stay grounded, remember. The calm within you is stronger than the chaos around you. That's your power. That's your truth. And that's the foundation of your forever.